hardcore Malayali fan to
Yeah,
want to see Mohanlal's son and Priyadarshan's
so
daughter.
there is a project somewhere, you know.
I mean, I'm sure it's there in the future, and if it comes to us, I mean, it's not like we're against the idea. So.
Yeah, and why were you launched by your dad?
So,
a lot of people have asked you this question.
A lot of people have asked me, and it's actually very funny. My dad and I made a very conscious. We had the biggest conversation about how he would not be the one to launch me because he.
Has Mr. Mohanlal seen this film? Your dad's best friend?
Yeah, he has seen the film.
What did Lal sir say?
I mean, he came and gave me a hug. I love commercial cinema. I mean,
Yeah, you're coming from that
yeah,
background.
I come from that background. So for me, commercial cinema, I love going to a film, laughing, clapping, getting up and whistling and all of that
But
stuff.
what? Pranav, I believe, has seen the film.
Yeah, he watched the film too. Apu, Pranav, my brother, all of them watched the film. They're like, I didn't know you could act. That's amazing.
Kalyani, it must be tough on you. Your parents are living separately now. How do you handle it?
I mean, luckily enough, what I need from them right now is support. And there's also a slight part of me that wants to listen to Malayalam and Tamil films because I grew up here.
Yeah, that's my next question.
So,
is why you are not doing Tamil and
yeah,
Malayalam?
so this just happened. Like I said, it happened and it happened very quickly.
Today I have with me none other than the beautiful Kalyani. She has been making waves. She has made a debut in Telugu with Hello. Kalyani happens to be the daughter of noted director Priyadarshan and actress Lizzie. Welcome to the show, Kalyani.
Thank you.
And congratulations for the 1 million club in US. You've joined. Your
Thank
Hello
you.
is a super duper hit.
Thank you, and congratulations on your 1 million in Twitter. So
Yeah,
we
so
both
we
hit
are
1
even
million in
Steve.
a week. So yeah, one point.
Your father is a great director,
Yeah.
one of the best commercial directors in Indian cinema, and your mother was a great actress, and even now she's doing films.
She still looks the same. So.
Yeah, she looks the same.
Yeah.
And so you had that strong backing, but at the end of the day, it's your self-confidence that really works in movies.
Yeah.
And you were confident that did you do some grooming or did you do some kind of acting course or something?
Yeah,
like
so the only sort of acting course that I sort of did, while I was in school, while I was in college, I always worked in theatre. So I was constantly surrounded by actors and I pick up things quite well. And so I think somewhere along the way, I was able to pick up certain things here and there while I was studying in.
So your theatre background helped you.
Yeah, it really did. And in fact, just before starting Hello, I also wanted to know, okay, you know what? Will I be able to do this? Is this something? Would I be a good performer? I've seen people act. Doesn't mean I can automatically be a good actor. So I did a workshop in Adi Shakti. It's this really, really great place in Pondicherry.
Yeah.
And it's very intense, very, very emotionally strenuous. And when I did that, I realized, one, I enjoyed myself. And the other thing I realized was that I could do it. If I really put my hard work to it, I'd be able to be a good performer.
Yeah, and why were you launched by your dad?
So,
a lot of people have asked you this question.
A lot of people have asked me, and it's actually very funny. My dad and I made a very conscious. We had the biggest conversation about how he would not be the one to launch me because he knew the potential I had, and he knew that a good director will see me and realize the potential I have. And he said it's much better for the industry, for yourself, if you were launched by someone else than if it looked like I was the one who launched you. He's like, I can obviously launch you, it's not going to be a problem, I know you have great potential. But the talk in the industry will be a little bit different as to when you prove yourself by coming up yourself. I tried my best not to use my dad's influence, and that's what he wanted for me also, because he knew I could do it.
So, does your father and mother go through your script?
So yeah, like I said, I'm very lucky that I have very supportive parents. They trust me enough to know that I brought up a very sensible girl, very smart girl who knows what good cinema is. So luckily enough, they're very sure that every decision that needs to be made around this is going to be mine. Weirdly enough, everybody else has had some opinion or the other when they knew I was acting. They were like, oh, you should do these kind of films. Oh, you know, this industry is missing this sort of an actor. You need to do these kind of films. Only do these kind of roles. My parents are like, don't listen to any of that. Don't worry about any of that. You're a very smart girl. We brought up someone who knows cinema. So you just decide on whatever.
So what you're saying is you're a very independent girl.
Yeah, I am. In fact, my parents trust me enough. They never came to set even once. They never visited set. In fact, people were surprised and I was like, why are you surprised? I mean,
So you're not the usual person who's been chaperoned by your mother.
Yeah, that never happened. And even once they didn't ask to see a picture of what I look like on set for this film. The first time they all saw me was with the world. When the teaser came out and the world saw my face for this film was when they saw how I looked in this film. So it was very nice. They give me the independence.
Okay, and now what you are going to do is you have gone through many scripts. That's what I have been told. That a lot of people have come to you and big names, which I don't want to mention in this at the moment. But you have also told some of them, no, I am looking at the script again. Or
yeah. So the thing with me is, I have a lot to live up to also in terms of my parents' name. Like they've worked very hard to have the name and the respect that they have today in the industry. It doesn't come easily. So I feel like I owe it to them also to be a little bit more choosier than any other person in terms of listening to a script and listening to a film and being okay with it. I also know the value of a good director. I know the value of a good producer and all of that. So I know that there are a lot of things that I need to consider, and I can't just consider whether I have enough screen time or not. So,
has Mr. Mohanlal seen this film? Your dad's best friend?
Yeah, he has seen the film.
What did Lal sir say?
I mean, he came and gave me a hug. That's like, I feel like one of my biggest. That's a great compliment from him. That itself, because he's a person that shows out his love like that, and so it was great.
And what did Pranav say?
Oh, he was.
Pranav, I believe, has seen the film.
Yeah, he watched the film too. It's quite funny because I don't think anybody had any trust in me to do a good job. It's horrible to say, but these are all the closest people.
How could this girl do?
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, this suddenly happened. I never had any training in acting. It's just, and it happened very quickly. I mean, I started a film, it came out, so nobody could even process that this has happened. So it was really nice when all of them, including Apu, Pranav, my brother, all of them watched the film. They're like, I didn't know you could act. That's amazing. That's great. So yeah, it was really nice.
And Pranav, when you grew up together, now would you be doing a film with him at some time?
I mean, I would love to do a film with him. It really just depends on whether a film finds us. So
because there's been talks going on.
Yeah, there been. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, it makes sense to have for the hardcore Malayali fan to want to see Mohanlal's son and Priyadarshan's daughter.
So there is a project somewhere, you know.
I mean, I'm sure it's there in the future, and if it comes to us, I mean, it's not like we're against the idea. So if it happens,
so
it happens.
best friends, children get together. That is a possibility. Pranav Mohanlal with Kalyani.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You know how our commercial cinema works, and even in your dad's films, the hero is always given more.
So that is not. See, my dad has always told me it's more important to be a part of a
hit film.
Exactly. Be a part of a good film that you're proud of, rather than wonder how much screen time you have. And that is very true for me. I mean, if you watch Hello, I have an extended cameo in the first half. I'm barely there. But my character was still strong. She sort of. Her impact was there throughout the film, even though I was never seen for a second.
The whole film, the pivot around which the film revolved
was my character. So it was still nice. I mean, that's what I want to be a part of a film I can be proud of. And I love commercial cinema. I mean,
you're coming from that background.
I come from that background. So for me, commercial cinema, I love going to a film, laughing, clapping, getting up and whistling and all of that stuff.
But what's important is the script.
Yeah. What's important is the script, and for me also, like I said, I genuinely believe in the value of a good director.
And what's your call on doing glamorous roles?
So like I said, I watched this film very proudly with sitting next to my mother, sitting next to my father, sitting next to, there's a lot of big people. We had a private show where we invited a lot of big people. And these are people who know my parents very well. These are like mentors to me. Great actors. I don't want to mention any names. But they're great actors. And I need to be proud enough to sit next to them and watch that film. So for me, at the end of it, it depends on whether or not, forget just the way that I look in the film, even the way that I've performed in the film, the way that the film is overall, I need to be proud. I need to be able to sit next to them and say, this is my film, watch it next to me. So based off that is when I take a call.
How this sensational debut happened, because Hello is genuinely a good role, and as Priya, you rocked. And you have been able to capture the youth audiences, I'm told. And that famous line, I hate you, in the film, which means I love you, is, going places. Now people say, I hate you to their lovers.
They've been saying, I hate you to me, that's the thing. And it's really funny because I'm really scared. Anyone who hasn't watched the film, anyone who goes on my Twitter or Instagram or any of my social media profiles, they're going to think I'm the most hated person in South India, because everything is, I hate you Junnu, I hate you Priya, I hate you Kalyani. Yeah.
I would say the film also worked because of the chemistry that you had with Akhil.
Thanks.
And that's the way, your role was very secretive till the last.
So what they wanted, and that's kind of how I got the role. It was my chemistry with him that sort of sealed the deal, because they were looking for someone for a very long time. So they'd auditioned a lot of people, and they came across me, and they'd asked me if I could go in and have a screen test with Akhil, because basically all they wanted was to see if our chemistry worked. So it was really nice, because I'd gone in, and the only thing they made us do is they made me, it was like one of those weird marriage things. It was just funny. They made the two of us just sit and talk to each other, and they were all watching. So, somehow or the other, I think Vikram sir saw some kind of.
So there was a look test.
Yeah.
Okay, and how was it working with Akhil? Because you knew right from beginning it's packaged for him.
Yeah.
But still your role was good enough, and your chemistry that you had on-screen chemistry was terrific.
Yeah, so thanks for saying our chemistry was terrific, because there were two other great love stories in that film, and if our chemistry didn't work, the film would have...
but I think JP and Ramya were also equally good.
Yeah.
That's why...
And the kids also, they had great, they were great performers.
The kids who played your younger...
So it definitely meant that ours had to be strong enough for the rest of the film to carry through. So it means a lot that you said that. But weirdly enough, again, Akhil's a very quiet person. I didn't expect that of him, to be very honest. He's very quiet. He's got the class of his father. That's the best way I can put it. He's really got the class of his father. He's very focused. He's worked very hard for this film. And everything has come across. Like, I know for a fact he learnt a lot from his first film, and he's gone on to make sure that he only improves and puts his best for this film. So in that sense, he was very focused on set. So he was never very talkative. He was never any of that. And so whatever chemistry came across between us was purely because of Vikram Kumar's storytelling, I think, because the story itself had everything in it.
Tell us about your background a bit, because I think you went to Singapore to study.
Yeah, so I studied in Singapore.
You studied your schooling in Chennai.
Schooling for a while was in Chennai. After that, I'd gone to Singapore, and then my undergraduate is when I went to America. So I know it doesn't look like I have so much of a connection.
No, but you're
here.
A chip of the old
block.
Yeah,
exactly. So everything up until I left for school was all about cinema for me over here. So even before I left, I knew that this was what I wanted. This was the field that I wanted to be.
But at that time, when I met you, you said you were looking more at direction rather than...
So the thing is, I knew cinema was going to be my life. I didn't know where I fit in. There are so many things you can do in cinema. Acting isn't the only thing. And acting, in fact, requires a lot of strength. And you need to be very emotionally strong to be a great actor. And I am not a very strong person. I take criticism a little bit personally.
Yeah.
And it's because I'm like, okay, I'm a nice person. So I take it a little personally when I feel someone doesn't like me. And it has nothing to do with me personally. It has to do with what they don't like on screen. So in fact, even my parents sort of discouraged me a little bit, saying, you know, you're not going to be able to survive because you emotionally break down very quickly. So you need to be very strong in order to be an actor. You need to be able to take criticism. You need to be able to take everything. And so that was what was kind of stopping me from thinking, okay, maybe I should act, because I didn't know if I was strong enough.
Kalyani, it must be tough on you. Your parents are living separately now. How do you handle it?
I mean, luckily enough, what I need from them right now is support. And they have been the most supportive parents, the most loving parents that you could ever imagine. And both of them have given their full support for me for the film. They have accompanied, even though they didn't come to set, they've accompanied me to the promotions of the film. They've shown their full support in terms of like even watching the film, they're very proudly showing other people the film. So for me, that's what really matters. They're really there for me, and they're there for my brother as well, I know. So right now, there's nothing that I'm missing from them. And I think that's what matters right now.
Yeah, it matters a lot for you. And their blessings are there with you, and they are full into it.
Yeah, they're very much, they don't make minute decisions, but I know for a fact that whatever mistakes I make, whatever good things I do for their name, they're always there to support me. So it's, yeah.
And a beautiful girl like you, are you having anybody? Are you going steady with anybody?
I just entered this industry. I just got back from America. It's like I came in one flight, and then immediately after that I started working on film. So none of that has happened so far, but yeah.
You are single and happy.
Yes, I'm very, very single and happy. Yeah.
Now what next?
So this is a big question, and I'm hoping I'll be able to tell you soon. It's just that this film happened very, very quickly, to be very honest. In fact, there's been this, we were all talking about how I'm one of the luckiest heroines, because I joined this film, and 3 months later it's a huge film, 3 months later the film releases. So I haven't really had any other time to sort of I focused so much on this character, I haven't had time to listen to anything else, I haven't had time to do anything else apart from concentrate on this film. And so I think I'm just going to take my time, because this has
But you must have heard some scripts, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, and the other thing is, I mean, as much as I love the Telugu industry and I want to do a Telugu film, there's also a slight part of me that wants to listen to Malayalam and Tamil films, because I grew up here.
Yeah, that's my next question. So is why you are not doing Tamil and Malayalam?
Yeah, so this just happened. Like I said, it happened, and it happened very quickly. So I didn't even have time to sort of realize, oh, I'm doing a Telugu film. When am I going to do? I had no time to process any of that. So now is when I'm trying to figure out do I want to do the film that is most connected to my roots and everything that I know, or do I want to stick to this new place that I've discovered and sort of go along with that? So it's something, I'll figure that out very soon. And
yeah, but I'm sure that you must have heard a couple of scripts.
Yeah, I mean, I have. It's just because this one was received well, I mean, I have a lot to live up to. And at the same time, my parents, I mean, I watched this film sitting right next to them because I was very proud of the film I was a part of. And I want to make sure the next film is the same thing. I want to be very proud of the film I'm a part of.
Yeah. So right now you are looking at a Tamil film.
Yes, for sure. I mean,
and in the next, let's say 1 month, you will be signing up at Tamil.
Yeah. So I will.
With a big project?
I hope so. I mean, these are things. This film really came to me out of some kind of luck and thankfully my stars. If time is good, things will go well. So I mean, a lot of this has to do with what comes to you. My dad has always said actors are beggars. You have to choose from the stuff that you get. And I'm hoping with my performance, the way that I've been received, everything is very positive right now, and I'm hoping that directors also feel the same way when they come to approach me for a film.
In 2018, will you have another release?
Ideally, yes. So I really hope that happens.
What about Bollywood? Your dad has brought the maximum girls from Bollywood to the south.
Okay, so the thing with Bollywood is I feel like I connect more here right now. I mean, yes, an actor needs to be versatile. They need to be able to do all of that. If it comes, great. If it doesn't, I won't be bothered, because right now this is I grew up more
Yeah.
connected to here, so I prefer being here. I like the films here. I have no problem with it. So.
Yeah, why not? Because the biggest industry.
Yeah, exactly.
South is now bigger than I would say Bollywood.
It's great, and you get to do so many different kinds of films, so many different. I don't know. I love it. So
You love it.
yeah, I have no inclination to go anywhere else.
Okay. That's great. I mean, talking to you.
Thanks.
And all the best. And let's hope you rock in 2018.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.